Hi here. This is a reading for the sign of Aries. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread with the Thoth deck, and then we're going to pull 3 cards from the Shadow deck to see if there's any confirmations or background emotions or anything else we should be made aware of that didn't come through in the main reading. So let's just see what happens. Alright, so today we are channeling the energy of the sign of Aries. So if that's your sun, your moon, your rising, however you identify with the sign of Aries, you can use that to sort of give color or texture to whatever messages come through today. And remember that I'm just here to give my interpretation of these cards. So we're going to do a Celtic cross spread, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking these cards mean, but always use your own judgment. If something doesn't fit, that's fine. You can always check your other placements, take what worked with you, leave behind what doesn't. And if anything more comes through than what I say, you can always, get your own messages as well. Really, the whole point of this exercise is for you to be able to get through to you the messages you need to receive. So hopefully I can help guide you through that process, but at the end of the day, always use your own judgment. Don't force anything that's not supposed to, or doesn't really make sense with your situation. And again, be receptive to anything else that comes through beyond what I just say. Okay? All right, so let us see what we can get for the sign of Aries today. What kind of insights or messages or anything we should be thinking about. Let's just see what we can have for the sign of Aries. And as always, I hope you're having a great day so far. If you're watching this in the morning, I hope that you have a nice, productive, and or restful day. And if you're watching this in the evening, I hope you had a restful and or productive day. Right? Really just hoping you had the best day you could so far. So hopefully this can bring a little bit more positivity to it as well. Not to say that the message will necessarily be guaranteed a positive one, just that, hopefully we can help you find some insights into the things that you're worried about, or, maybe if you need a little joy in your life, maybe we'll find a little something in like that in here as well. So, all right, let's see. What do we have today for the sign of Aries? Let's do one more good shuffle. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, let's see what we have. So, in the present moment, we have the Aeon. Very nice. This is something is changing. Some kind of situation maybe is opening up or closing, or, one era is closing and one new era is opening here. So that is, you are in transition. Some significant transition, right? The old world is changing into the new in some fashion. So let's see what can give us a little context for this change. It's crossed by the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's big. So a cycle is ending and a new cycle is beginning. Some new opportunity is going to fundamentally change either your life or your environment, or some major change is happening here. So hopefully this is positive. Let's get a little bit of more context for what's happening. So first we'll look at the timeline, and then we'll see what's happening in your internal and your internal thoughts versus what you're sort of thinking towards and moving in the direction of. So in the past, we have the Ace of Cups, a new inspiring opportunity that emotionally resonates with you. In the future, we have the Knight of Discs. In your unconscious energy, it looks like a little bit of a block here with the Eight of Swords. But what is guiding you is the power of love. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Your general energy is the Prince of Discs. Your environment is the Two of Swords. What you do not want, or your challenge, is the Art card, the Temperance card. And the likely outcome is the Princess of Discs. Okay, so this is nice. Let's see what we get from here. So we're going to see what's on the bottom of this deck last after we go through all of these cards. That'll represent what we don't see coming. And it's good to do this after we get a sense of what the main reading is about, so we can get a little bit more context for what we don't see coming and understand exactly what we're being warned about with this card here on the bottom. So we'll look at that in a moment. In the meantime, let's see what else we have. So in terms of our major arcana, we have 1, 2, 3. That's a nice solid amount. In terms of our court cards, it looks like we have a Knight of Discs or Pentacles, a Prince of Discs or Pentacles, and we have the Princess of Discs or Pentacles. So we have almost the whole family of Pentacles here. The only person we are missing is the Queen. So, okay, I wonder where maybe she's hiding here on the bottom of this deck. We'll see. But yeah, so in terms of our court cards, we have 3 from the suit of Discs. So that's the Earth energy, and it looks like that is all of the Earth energy we have in this reading. Let's see, as far as swords go, we have an 8 and a 2. So this is definitely some mental blockage that's happening with both of these cards here. So that's our air energy. We have Earth. We have 3 Earth, 2 air, 1, 2 from the suit of Cups, and no fire energy. All the readings I've done today have had no fire energy in them, at least in the main reading. So it's kind of interesting. So no fire energy, but a fair balance of everything else. Though it's interesting that all of our Earth energy is exactly the court cards. So I don't know. Maybe there's some family matters here that are happening. This is keeping it within the family, so to speak. But it's the practical, grounded Earth family here. So okay, that's interesting. Okay, so what else do we have here? So let's just go through this, and as I started with, we have in the present moment the Aeon. This is the era changing from one era to the next. This is the ending of one sort of state of being and going into the next. In the Rider-Waite deck, this is the Judgment card. This is the card of the dead are rising and being reborn into their next sort of era of living as the story of Revelations plays out. It's the new beginning after the old world has ended, and this is even further emphasized with this reading here by the Wheel of Fortune. We have a cycle. This is the wheel spins, and as one door shuts, another door opens, and a new era is beginning. So this is very, very strong change that is in the past, sort of beginning with the Ace of Cups. So something new has been brought into your life in the past that has been the sort of catalyst for whatever this major change is. This was, I think, what sparked off this wheel to start kicking. And now you're in the moment where it's time to pass this threshold and go into whatever the next thing is. We started here, now we're going through that gate, and this wheel cannot be stopped. This spinning has occurred, this has started it, whatever this new opportunity was, that as it is a cup, I mean, all of the aces represent some kind of new opportunity, but in particular, the Ace of Cups is something that something that emotionally resonates with you, that makes you feel something that you maybe did not feel before. And that is now changing this situation, opening this gate, and leading you into what is ahead. And it appears that what is ahead is the Knight of Discs. So maybe this is who you're becoming or what you're moving towards. But the Knight of Discs is a very practical, hard worker. This is someone who knows what they're doing. They're maybe a strong entrepreneur. They know how to run a business. They know how to get things done. They are practical. They are grounded, and they're skilled. They aren't just working hard for the sake of working hard. They have a plan, and they're going to master that plan, and they're going to put all of their energy and time into executing that perfectly so that what they need to grow or build or conquer is achieved. So that's good. So something new has started. It has opened up some new door that you are now going to, and the fortune card here too is not just a card of cycles. This is usually representative of some kind of either positive or negative luck, some kind of karmic debt either being paid or, I get the sense that whatever this was that was brought into your life has begun this. Again, I feel like you're traveling through a gateway here. You're passing through the gate that's in this card to pass to the new Aeon. And I think it is going to be a very positive, happy thing for you. I'm feeling good luck from the Wheel of Fortune in this spin, because you're moving towards, again, either becoming or finding the energy represented by the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? But there's resistance. In your unconscious energy, there's a blockage. There's something that is keeping you stuck and keeping you from going through this gate and passing into this power here. It's mental. This is sword energy. This is thought energy. This is something that is blocking you. This is, I mean, you see here these two swords, they almost represent the gate that you're trying to pass through, but you can't get through it because there's all these awful swords that are blocking you. And those are your own thoughts, or the thoughts of others, or they're just their thoughts, their doubts, their anxieties, their things that are keeping you from being able to maintain the energy you need to be able to get to this state on the other side of this gate. But the thing about the Eight of Swords is that because it's thought energy, you can let go of it. You can get around it. You just have to be able to identify what it is that's keeping you locked up. And once you identify the reality that the prison that you're inside of is being sort of self-inflicted, there is an escape. You just have to figure out how to navigate through this and let go of the negativity that is sort of keeping you stuck in this, what feels like almost a suspended animation of being able to, fulfill this karmic wheel that's trying to spin forward and lead you to this new prosperous future. And what's fantastic up here is that you're fueled by the power of love. That is what is pushing you forward. There is something, not necessarily a romantic partner or anything like that. It could be that. But what is sort of your eye on the prize sort of goal that is in front of you is some kind of union with something that you really feel strongly towards. This is something that's going to make you very happy. This is something that you feel very strongly about. Whatever this Ace of Cups is, I feel like this card is you wanting to sort of identify yourself or come into union with whatever it was that was sparked by this. Something very positive has sparked a change of wanting, or a need for change, that is going to be fulfilled in some way or another, but you're blocking it, you're holding yourself back and keeping yourself from reaching that lovely, fulfilling, flowing, positive love energy that is going to fill this cup that is sort of like this void inside of you that needs to be filled in some way. But in order to fill that void, you're going to have to pass through this gate that is the Aeon. You're going to have to go through this cycle of transitioning from the old into the new. But if you do so, I think you are going to be very happy with the outcome on the other side. Now here in your present energy, we have the Prince of Discs. So the Prince, he is aspiring to become the Knight of Discs. The Knight of Discs is the king. He is the one who has mastered his art. He is the one who has figured out how best to perform whatever skill he is trained in doing, and it has brought him prosperity and abundance to be able to live happy and comfortably. The prince is not quite there yet, but he has the passion to want to get there. He is, as you see in this chariot, trying to move forward to get to the point of becoming this knight, but does not have the proficiencies that he needs to be able to be as successful as the knight. He's still in training mode. He's still in a place where he needs to develop his skills and figure out how best to move forward to embody this power here. And I think this is what you are in the state of right now, is you feel the desire to do this, you feel the passion, but you're not really sure exactly how to do it. And I think the reason is because you're blocking yourself. You're wanting to get to this gate, but there's something in your mind that's holding you back and telling you that I can't do this, or I don't want to do this, or I don't need to do this. And instead of passing through this gate and changing into this great, beautiful, powerful thing, you're still stuck in this training mode. You need to develop and become this knight here, but you're not sure how. And I think it's maybe not even necessarily that you don't know how so much as maybe you're afraid to do so. You're blocking yourself and keeping yourself stuck in this state without moving forward. And that is even further emphasized by your environment here. The Two of Swords is representative, again, it's more thought energy, more air energy, of two choices. This is coming to a crossroads, but not really identifying how to get through these crossroads. It's as if both options seem like they're either both good or both bad. There's not one weighing over the other. They're perfectly balanced. There's a perfect symmetry like you see in this card here, and so that symmetry is what gets you stuck. And so you're stuck in your thoughts. You're stuck in this mode of trying to get, there's just everything. There's no clear way to decide, how do I deal with this problem? And you almost end up in a position of not doing anything because you're not clear on which way to go. So you're, again, reinforcing the stuckness energy. Here, this energy has got you stuck because it feels like an external threat, but it's really a self-imposed threat. Here is the energy of being stuck because of indecision and not really knowing how to commit to one option over another, and so ending up not committing to anything at all. And that's not really what the Prince of Disc wants to do. He's got this bull pulling this chariot forward. He's got all of this energy and passion, and if it's not being put into something, he's just going to turn into a restless mess of just pent up. I got to do something. I got to do something. I got to make something kind of energy, and he's not able to go anywhere. And eventually, that is going to lead to some real anxiety that's going to manifest in some way, either mentally, physically. He needs action. He needs to go, and you can't. It's like it's almost like he's in this chariot has like a boot on it, right? The authorities have come by and decided he can't drive this chariot, so they put a boot on it, and he's just ready to go, and he can't. And so he's just sitting there, stuck, not really sure what to do. And so what you don't want here is the Art or Temperance card. This is the card of, I mean, sometimes we think of it as alchemy, but it's the forge. This is, you see here that two different types of elements, fire and water, are being mixed together to create art, to create something beautiful and stronger, and just to manifest some kind of beautiful new thing into the world that's being tempered through this balance. And it's kind of interesting that we have this card of balance next to this card of balance, right? This is a card of not really creating anything so much as just being stuck at the starting line, identifying that we could make something. It could be this, it could be that, but it ends up being neither. This is sort of the opposite of that. This is where you've got these two extremes that are actually being mixed together and being manifest into something that is physical and real. And it's odd that you have this in the position of what you don't want, almost seeming like you maybe want to stay stuck. I mean, there's definitely a desire here. There's a passion to become in union with whatever it is that motivated this need to create and to build things. But you're stuck, and it's a self-imposed stuckness, and it's almost as if you don't want to forge whatever is ahead. Maybe that is what has you stuck and scared, is the reality that you're going to have to commit to something if you want to build. You're going to have to choose how to balance these extremes, and that's not an easy task to do. You can't just barrel forward with this energy of, I want to get my hands dirty and just start the project. You have to have a plan, but it's not clear how to make this plan, and so you're almost afraid to get started because you're worried that no matter what option I pick, maybe things are not going to work out. And so you're just stuck in your cage and never going anywhere. You're never passing through the gate in the first place. And you can't become the Knight of Discs if the Prince of Discs is stuck at the starting line, afraid to actually get things going. He's got to turn the engine on and move forward and do something. And so here we have, in the likely outcome, the Princess of Discs. This is, in some sense, a step even prior to the Prince of Discs. The Prince of Discs, he wants to start building. He wants to start making things. He doesn't really have a fully fleshed out plan, but he's ready to get started. Where the Princess of Discs is even more sort of, what's the word? It's primordial almost, where it's this infinite potential of what could be with no real form that has really taken shape. Just the pure energy of, I can do something, but it's not clear what that something's going to be. So I feel like you are at a position where you're having to choose. What is happening right now is not sustainable. You are not in a position where you can stay where you are. You have to pass through this change. This new cycle has to start, but you don't really want to make a choice about it. So I feel like you're almost going to be forced to have to do this, because you don't want to start building, though you want to start building. So you're stuck not really getting anything accomplished. And so what's going to end up happening is that this Princess of, rather than meeting the opportunity with the energy of the Prince of Discs, I almost feel like you're going to have a little bit more of the free-flowing openness of the Princess of Discs, not sure how to really get started or begin this task. Just, coming at it with an open mind and sort of embracing whatever is going to happen, which is an approach. You have to move forward and you have to build something, but it would be nice to have a little bit more control over the situation than what the Princess of Discs is going to provide. I mean, she's open and receptive to whatever's going to happen, and that again is reinforcing some of the Two of Swords way of dealing with the problem. As you can see no clear choice of how to proceed forward, you almost transcend the decision and let the things happen as they may. And if you're going to let things happen as they may, that actually kind of brings me back to the Wheel of Fortune. You're going to just spin the wheel. You know, you're not going to commit to a plan. You're not going to make a choice here. You're just going to let whatever happens happen. You know that there's all of these different things that can occur based on how you decide to push forward, but you're going to leave fate to be the driver of this. So I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to get when we pull from the shadow deck. Maybe there is a little bit more of leaning one way or the other mentally that you're almost sort of blocking. But externally, you're passionate about something. You know you need to do something about it, but you're stuck. You want to become in union with whatever it is you're passionate about, and you want to make a living and a future out of becoming in union with whatever this is that you're passionate about, but you just don't know how to get started, is really what I'm seeing here. So let's see what we don't see coming. The Knight of Wands. All right, something is going to light a fire on you, that's for sure. That's the passion that you really want. So this is the love that's fueling you, the emotional capacity to feel sort of connected to whatever it is that you want to be doing with your time and your energy, the work you want to be putting into the world. This is the creative force of fire that has been channeled into a very, very, like, the form is all come together into one sort of object, and it is like the point at which all of that passion and energy is pushing forward. It's similar to the Knight of Discs here. This is someone who has mastered whatever it is that drives them, but the Knight of Disc is all about mastering a skill or a trade or some kind of task you want accomplished. The Knight of Wands is more about channeling that energy of creativity and passion, that fuel of fire and just going for it. I mean, look, he's on a horse that has, and he's moving forward with here, I mean, look at the difference in their weapons. Here he has just a sort of wooden flail that he can hit people with, but here he actually has a literal stick of fire. So they're both going to come charging in. They're both in commanding energies. You want to or need to or maybe will become this Knight of Discs eventually. This princess is going to be receptive to whatever she needs to be receptive to become this person here, just like the prince will. And it looks like, though, what is maybe going to push you through the gate, since you're in this stuck period, something very energizing, a person or a situation or an opportunity, something very powerful is going to force your hand through this gate, and you're going to get to the other side one way or another. But what the wheel is going to turn up for you is whatever this Knight of Wands energy is for you. So, okay, that's kind of nice and interesting. Okay, so let's see what we get from the shadow deck. So let's pull 3 cards from this. All right, so we're going to pull 3 cards, and this will tell us a little bit more about maybe how you're feeling. If there's any shadow aspects to anything that's happening here. Again, I'm kind of curious to see if there's any inclination of feeling one way or the other, as it feels like you're in this mode of I'm stuck and I don't want to make a choice. So I'm going to let the wheel spin, and this Knight of Wands is going to be the force that's going to guide me towards whatever I'm supposed to go towards. And I would like to see, I mean, this is an Aries reading. I would like to see a little bit more of a command coming from you rather than an external force. But I'm really feeling the Knight of Wands is something that's going to come in from behind and push you in one direction or the other. So let's see what the shadow deck gives us to finish this reading off. Let's see. We're going to get a 3 of Spheres. Okay, this is a contract coming into some kind of work with other people. You're going to be making some sort of plan or project, and so here this person is working with here. This is the person that's kind of, here's the blueprint of what you need to do, and he's yelling up to this guy to okay, here's what you need to do to accomplish whatever circus trick they're doing there. The Ace of Swords, clarity of thought, a new insight, is going to sitting over both the Aeon and the Wheel of Fortune, so the gate will be opened by some sort of realization, some moment of clarity I think is going to come to you. And again, the Two of Cups, powered by love, fueled by what you really feel strongly about, what you want to be in union with. You do have an inclination towards what you want, but you're not able to commit to it for some reason. But a realization is going to come to you in time, and again, you're going to be propelled by some external force if you don't make this choice for you. But it looks like you want to work with other people, or maybe you were working with other people in the past. Maybe this Ace of Cups, this opportunity that has sort of inspired you, came from some past collaboration with someone else. But now you know that you're going to have to go through whatever this gate is to go to the next stage of your life. And this Ace of Swords, let this realization be the weapon that guides you as you take this leap and get through whatever the situation is. Don't be stuck by an Eight of Swords. Take all of the nonsense. Get rid of all of that. You want clarity. You want that one Ace of Swords that's going to allow you to have the insight of how to get through what you need to get through. And maybe that's what the Knight of Wands, maybe that's the gift that the Knight of Wands can give you, is that clarity of thought to be able to figure out how to get in union with what you really care about, what you really love, and allow you to become that Knight of Discs that you're desiring to be. And what you don't see coming is the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is reevaluating. The Five of Swords is a defeat, coming to some discouraging ending where you wanted to try something and you failed at it. And so the Six of Swords in the Thoth deck is the science card. It's the scientific method of reevaluating where you have gone wrong and using those failures, those negative thoughts, to help propel you on your journey forward and change and realign yourself to what you need to do in order to get to where you need to go. So it's an interesting reading. You're definitely feeling very stuck in your head. My advice would be get out of your head. Embrace this energy of potential. I mean, that's not bad that you have this Princess of Discs here, but especially for an Aries reading, I would like to see a little bit more assertive energy of becoming more in command. And I mean, maybe it isn't that the Knight of Wands is going to come out of left field. Maybe you are going to embody the Knight of Wands instead of the Princess of Discs. You're approaching it with this attitude of, I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe you're going to become the Knight of Wands and you are going to take command. I mean, you're a fire sign, so when that fire comes, maybe this is going to be you deciding, I'm going to go through this gate armed with the thoughts and the knowledge that I have, and you're going to align yourself with what you want. You're going to have both emotional connection and a practical sort of foundation of being able to live comfortably. You just have to be able to get through whatever this difficult task is, and I think you can do it. So okay, I hope that was helpful. I hope you got something from this, and I'll see you next time.